Yes, welcome back. Let's read another PDF. But I start to get tired, so find a lot more PDF I like to read. I did download and make lists there. I like to read about Los Angeles. Maybe should do that tomorrow. Alaska, all kinds of animals. Some kind of national park. Mexico, that's a border country to United States. Rocky Mountains, the bald eagle, American bison. You have to read the United States. So that's a lot of stuff to read. That would take many weeks. So let's just read. We need to read the brown bear. I think we should do. Maybe we should just do that tomorrow. Read the brown bear. So I need a minute. I think we need. That's the last bear I need to read about. No, I need to have the polar bear. But we could maybe do that tomorrow. Read the brown bear, then the polar bear. The Arctic, then have the polar bear in Alaska, I think.
Kodiak Bear. Kodiak Bear 2010 Brown Bear.jpg. A bear in Kodiak Island, Alaska, U.S. Conservation Status Least Concern, IUCN 3.11, Scientific Classification. Kingdom Animalia Phylum Chordata Class Mammalia Order Carnivora Family Ursidae Genus Ursus Species Uartos Subspecies Ua Middendorfer Trina Mile Name Ursus Artos Middendorfer Merriam, 1896, 2. The Kodiak Bear, Ursus artos middendorfi, also known as Kodiak brown bear. Sometimes the Alaskan brown bear inhabits the islands of the Kodiak archipelago in southwest Alaska. 3. It is the largest recognized subspecies or population of brown bear, and one of the two largest bears alive today, the other being the polar bear. 4. 5. They are also considered by some to be a population of grizzly bears. Physiologically and physically, the Kodiak bear is very similar to other brown bear subspecies, such as the mainland grizzly bear, Ursus artos horribilis, and the extinct California grizzly bear, Ua californicus, with the main difference being size. While there is generally much variation in size between brown bears in different areas, most usually weigh between 115 and 360 kg, 254 and 794 pound. 6. The Kodiak bear, on the other hand, commonly reaches sizes of 300 to 600 kilograms, 660 to 1,320 pound, and has even been known to exceed a weight of 680 kilograms, 1,500 pound. 3. Despite this large variation in size, the diet and lifestyle of the Kodiak bear do not differ greatly from those of other brown bears. Kodiak bears have interacted with humans for centuries, especially hunters and other people in the rural coastal regions of archipelago. 7. The bears are hunted for sport and are encountered by hunters pursuing other species. Less frequently, Kodiak bears are killed by people whose property, such as livestock or person, are threatened. 8. There is increasing focus on conservation and protection of the Kodiak bear population as human activity in its range increases. 7. The IUCN classifies the brown bear, Ursus artos, of which the Kodiak is a subspecies, as being of least concern in terms of endangerment or extinction, though the IUCN does not differentiate between subspecies and thus does not provide a conservation status for the Kodiak population. The Alaska Department of Fish and Game, however, along with the United States Fish and Wildlife Service to a lesser extent, closely monitor the size and health of population and the number of bears hunted in the state. 7. Description. Taxonomy. Taxonomist C.H. Merriam was first to recognize the Kodiak bear as a unique subspecies of the brown bear, and he named it Ursus middendorfi in honor of the celebrated Baltic naturalist, Dr. Th. von Middendorf. 2. Subsequent taxonomic work merged all North American brown bears into a single species, Ursus artos. Genetic samples from bears on Kodiak have shown that they are most closely related to brown bears on the Alaska Peninsula and Kamchatka, Russia, and all brown bears roughly north of the US. Kodiak bears have been genetically isolated since at least the last ice age, 10,000 to 12,000 years ago, and very little genetic diversity exists within the population. 9. Although the current population is healthy and productive, and has shown no overt adverse signs of inbreeding, it may be more susceptible to new diseases or parasites than other, more diverse brown bear populations. Color. Hair colors range from blonde to orange, typically females or bears from southern parts of the archipelago, to dark brown. Cubs often retain a white natal ring around their neck for the first few years of life. The Kodiak bear's color is similar to that of its close relatives, the mainland American and Eurasian brown bears. 10. Size. Adult. The size range for females, sows, is from 181 to 318 kilograms, 399 to 701 pound, and for males, boars, it is 272 to 635 kilograms, 600 to 1,400 pound. 3. 11. Mature males average 477 534 kilograms, 1,050 to 1,177 pound, over the course of the year. 12. And can weigh up to 680 kilogram, 1,500 pound, at peak times. Females are typically about 20% smaller and 30% lighter than males. 3. And adult sizes are attained when they are 6 years old. Bears weigh the least when they emerge from their dens in the spring, and can increase their weight by 20-30%. 11. During late summer and fall. Captive bears can sometimes attain weights that are considerably greater than those of their counterparts in the wilderness. An average adult male measures 244 centimeters, 8 feet 0 in length, and stands 133 centimeters, 4 feet 4 tall at their shoulder. The largest recorded wild male weighed 751 kilograms, 1,656 pound, and had a hind foot measurement of 46 centimeter, 18 . 12. A large male Kodiak bear stands up to 1.5 m, 4.9 feet, tall at the shoulder, when it is standing on all four legs. When standing fully upright on its hind legs, a large male could reach a height of 3 m, 9.8 feet. 3. The largest verified size for a captive Kodiak bear was for a specimen that lived at the Dakota Zoo in Bismarck, North Dakota. Nicknamed Clyde, he weighed 966 kilograms, 2,130 pound, when he died in June 1987 at the age of 22. According to zoo director Terry Lincoln, Clyde probably weighed close to 1,089 kilogram, 2,400 pound, a year earlier. He still had a fat layer of 9 23 centimeters, when he died. 13. A. Kodiak bears are the largest brown bear, comparable in size to polar bears. This makes Kodiak bears and polar bears both the two largest members of the bear family, and Kodiak bears the largest extant terrestrial, b. carnivorans. 4. The standard method of evaluating the size of bears is by measuring their skulls. Most North American hunting organizations and management agencies use calipers to measure the length of the skull. back of sagittal crest on the back of the skull to the front tooth, and the width, maximum width between physiognomatic arches cheekbones. The total skull size is the sum of these two measurements. The largest bear ever killed in North America was from Kodiak Island, with a total skull size of 78.1 centimeters, 30.7 in, and 8 of the top 10 brown bears listed in the Boone and Crockett record book are from Kodiak. 17. The average skull size of Kodiak bears that were killed by hunters in the first 5 years of the 21st century was 63.8 centimeter, 25.1 in, for boars, and 55.4 centimeters, 21.8 in, for sows. 18. Also, an individual named Teddy, which portrayed a killer bear in the movie Grizzly, stood 3.4 meters, 11 feet, tall on hind legs and was the largest bear in captivity at the time. Distribution and density. This brown bear population only occurs on the islands of the Kodiak archipelago, Kodiak, Afognagshuik, Raspberry, Uganik, Sitkalidak, and adjacent islands. The Kodiak bear population was estimated to include 3,526 bears in 2005, yielding an estimated archipelago-wide population density of 270 bears per 1,000 km to 700 per 1,000 square mi. During the past decade the population has been slowly increasing. 19. Life history. Reproduction and survival. Mother bear with cubs. Kodiak bears reach sexual maturity at age 5, but most sows are over 9 years old when they successfully wean their first litter. The average time between litters is 4 years. Sows continue to produce cubs throughout their lives, but their productivity diminishes after they are 20 years old. 20. Mating season for Kodiak bears is during May and June. They are serially monogamous, having one partner at a time, staying together from 2 days to 2 weeks. As soon as the egg is fertilized and divides a few times, it enters a state of suspended animation until autumn, when it finally implants on the uterine wall and begins to grow again. Cubs are born in Thedon during January or February. 3. Weighing less than 450 g, 1 pound, at birth with little hair and closed eyes. They suckle for several months, emerging from the den in May or June, weighing 6.89.1 kilograms, 15-20 pounds. 3. Typical litter sizes on Kodiak are 2 or 3 cubs, 3, with a long-term average of 2.4 cubs per litter. 20. However, Kodiak bears have 6 functional nipples and litters up to 6 cubs have been reported. 21. Sows are sometimes seen with 5 or 6 cubs in tow, probably due to adopting cubs from other litters. 3. Most cubs stay with their mothers for 3 years. Almost half of the cubs die before they leave. 20. With cannibalism by adult males being one of the major causes of death. Kodiak bears that have recently left their mothers, at ages 3-5 years, have high mortality rates. 3. With only 56% of males and 89% of females surviving. 19. Most young female bears stay within or near their mothership range, while most males move farther away. Most adult sows die of natural causes, 56%, while most adult male bears are killed by hunters, 91%. 19. The oldest known male bear in the wild was 27 years old and the oldest female was 35. 22. Denning. Kodiak bears begin entering their dens in late October. Pregnant sows are usually the first to go to dens, males are the last. Males begin emerging from their dens in early April, while sows with new cubs may stay in dens until late June. Bears living on the north end of Kodiak Island tend to have longer denning periods than bears in the southern areas. Most Kodiak bears dig their dens in hill or mountain sides, and they use a wide variety of denning habitats depending on which part of the archipelago they live. Almost a quarter of adult bears forego denning, staying somewhat active throughout the winter. 319 Home range. Bears on Kodiak are naturally active during the day, but when faced with competition for food or space they adopt a more nocturnal, active at night, lifestyle. This behavior is especially evident in the bears that live near and within Kodiak City. Kodiak bears do not defend territories, but they do have traditional areas that they use each year, home ranges. Because of the rich variety of foods available on Kodiak, the bears in the archipelago have some of the smallest home ranges of any brown bear populations in North America, 23, and a great deal of overlap occurs among the ranges of individual bears. Home ranges of adult sows on Kodiak Island average 130 square kilometers, 50 square mi, while boar home ranges average 250 kilometer to 97 square mi. 19. Habitat and feeding habits. Bear with the salmon. The islands of the Kodiak archipelago have a subpolar oceanic climate with cool temperatures, overcast skies, fog, windy conditions and moderate to heavy precipitation throughout most of year. Although the archipelago only covers about 13,000 km to 5,000 square mi, a rich variety of topography and vegetation ranges from dense forests of Sitka spruce on the northern islands, to steep glaciated mountains rising to Kodiak Peak's 1,360 m, 4,470 feet, along the central spine of Kodiak Island, to rolling hills and flat tundra on the south end of the archipelago. About 14,000 people live on the archipelago, primarily in and around the city of Kodiak and 6 outlying villages. Roads and other human alterations are generally limited to Afognak Island and the northeastern part of Kodiak Island. About half of the archipelago is included in the Kodiak National Wildlife Refuge. 19. Bears live throughout the archipelago, adapting to local resources and retaining relatively small home ranges and comparable densities in most habitats. Emerging vegetation and animals that died during the winter are the first foods bears eat in the spring. As summer progresses, a wide variety of vegetation supplies nutritional needs until salmon return. Salmon runs extend from May through September on most of archipelago, and bears consume the 5 species of Pacific salmon that spawn in local streams and lakes. In the late summer and early fall, bears consume several types of berries. Bears also feed on windrout and invertebrates on some beaches throughout the year. Although deer are abundant on the archipelago and mountain goats are abundant on Kodiak Island, few Kodiak bears actively prey on them. Another food source available year-round is the garbage made by the human population of Kodiak Island. As climate change causes elderberries to ripen earlier, berry season is now overlapping with salmon season, and some bears are abandoning salmon runs to focus on the berries. 24:19 Behavior. The Kodiak bear is much like other brown bears in intelligence, although its tendency to feed in large dense groups leads to more complex social behaviors. Kodiak bears are generally solitary in nature. However, when food is concentrated in small areas, such as along salmon spawning streams, grass forward/sedge flats, berry patches, a dead whale, or even an open garbage dump, they often occur in large groups. Along a few adult Alaskan brown bears frolicking in the cold waters in summer. 2 adult Alaskan brown bears at the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center streams on Kodiak. Up to 60 bears can be seen simultaneously in a 2.6 km to 1.0 square mi area. To maximize food intake at these ecologically important areas, bears have learned to minimize fighting and fatal interactions by developing a complex communication, both verbal and body posturing, and social structure. 25. Interactions with people. Usually, Kodiak bears attempt to avoid encounters with people. The most notable exceptions to this behavior pattern occur when bears are surprised, threatened, or attracted by human food garbage.